So let's go ahead and begin. I got my three brushes. I've got two brats and a short flat. And as you can see, they're all pretty much the same kind of brush, only different lengths. And so I'll be using them differently. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this with my somewhat bigger brush, the short flat. And I'm going to dip it in my thinner. And I'm going to give me some, smear me some right here, and I got a glare coming up from the light. My first objective is to put some sort of color in here, so I'm not working with this intimidating gray. What I really like to do is start with the baby, but I'd like to have some color in the background so I can judge what color to make the flesh in relation to the background, because I don't want it to be different. I want it to be a unified tone. I don't want it to be very shocking to the eyes when I put the color in for the infant. So if the color combination for the child is going to be flesh, we can make flesh with red, yellow, and white in varying amounts. So if I feel the red will have its complement color in green, the yellow, violet, and the white I can use gray. So let's just start off with some off-white. It's white, a little bit less than. So I'm going into my white, a supplement white. It's still titanium, but it comes from a different tube, a smaller tube right here, and it's not as expensive. So it works as very good as a supplement color, meaning it goes into the color that you mix it in, and it doesn't really lighten the color and darken the color. It makes more of the color, so to speak. So into this I'm going to add just a small amount of black, just to give it that off-white, a little bit more perhaps. It's almost like a fog gray. See? Now that's going to be the complement color to white. So while I'm mixing that, I'll go ahead and do some violet as well. Some phthalo blue, a little bit of cadmium deep red. Make some violet. Violet it's always tend to be more red than it is blue, where purple is more of a blue type in its color. So that's violet. And into that, well, not into it, but now I'm going to do green, but I'm not going to use my regular tuba green, and I'm not going to use much. I'm just going to take some deep cadmium yellow, come over here and mix it with a small amount of my phthalo blue. Now all these colors are going to be complement colors to the main colors, which are the flesh. Let me wash my brush out, and then I'll start laying in. The reason I'm doing the complement colors right now is because I very well can't use the flesh colors in the background, because if I do, you ain't gonna see the baby. So if I use some of the complementary colors with gray, gray, black, and purple in the background, the complements will show up in contrast to the child's hair, the face, the shoulder, and the different areas that's going to be exposed to the background. So let's go ahead and start by, we're going to go, now my light is coming this way, and I didn't want it to do like a inanimate object subject study. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the light full of life with the child, and in the behind, in the shadows, it's going to be a soft light, as though the light is, just like a motherly light, like a motherly love just shining on the child. And so with that, I'm wetting my brush again, and we're going to begin. I'm just washing it in thinner, which is I bought this thinner at a local store, and it's environmentally friendly. It doesn't have all the other bad things that regular thinner has in it, so it works good for me. I would also like to thank a very good friend of mine that got me started into these videos, His name is Maxie Durham. Thank you so much. Now, let's go ahead and get our, I'm laying my other two brushes. I'm going to lay them right here on my studio table. And I got my rag and my brush, and I'm going to go back into my thinner and wet my palette real good. This is my training ground, so to speak. And into that, I'm going to add my white, black for the gray, and into this, I'm going to add a little bit of blue. A bit more blue. So it's like a Payne's gray type color. And off to the side here, I'm adding a lot of black. A lot of more black. So see, I have two tones of the same color. One is extremely to the extreme of the other, which I'm not going to use them as contrast until I soften them down. So over here, I'm going to start in this area right here. And you can't very well see all this right here very good, not yet. But I'm just taking this and I'm adding the color to it, the oils. The underpainting is an acrylic. And these are all very light strokes right now. None of them's thick and heavy that's associated with oil paints. And into that I'm going to go into blue and red. When I say these colors out, unless they're unique, I'll just call them out unique as the Grumbucker red or phthalo green, because I've already introduced them before. So into this I'm going to add black. This color right here is blue, red, and black. There's no white in it at all. And I'm going to use that right in here to give contrast to the darkest part of this canvas. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, only I'm going to go darker. I'm going to go a little bit darker, and it's not going to be that much. It's not going to extend out to the child. It's going to go right here in this other corner. And my canvas is sort of wiggly on me. I'm hoping it's not going to fall, because if it does, I'll have to stop and fix it again. That's not going to be productive. Alright, so now I can come on up and do a little bit more. I'm going to wash my brush out a little bit better. Then I'm going to go back into this gray right here, but I'm going to mix it into the black, the darker black that I've got. I'm adding just a little bit of the white that I mixed, not this part of the white, but this part where it comes from. I'm going down and adding just a little bit more white, and I'm going to go ahead and do this part right here. My son's in the room, and it's okay. My daughter is too. It's okay. We're gonna make a family affair of this. Right in here, I'm gonna have the child's peripheral shadow come out, but it's not gonna be as though you can see it. It's gonna be the part of where the light hits, and it's gonna be bouncing off. But we'll understand it as we get to it. Wet my brush a little bit better, because right now I'm just working in some glazes. I'm not really worried about the shapes and the definition of it all. I just want it all to get on the canvas, and we can get well underway with it. And this is moving. I'll have to fix that later. So let's go ahead and start now. The white that I was talking about, let's go ahead and go into this color right here. I'm going to wet this a little bit better, wet my brush a little bit more, and I'm going to go into this white with a little bit of gray, a little bit more blue, because my blue seems to be fading away on me. And I'm going to go right here, and that's not light enough, because it's going to correspond with the bunny, and I don't want it to. And if I have to make more of the white, I will. That seems to be a better composition color-wise for that. And then this can come on over here. And if we have to doctor something up, we certainly can do that. And it's not gonna be the best thing. It's not gonna be best right now, because all it is just glazes. That's all we want right now, is just, well, not a glaze, but almost like a glaze. And of course this part over here is going to be a little bit more darker, because the light is not shining on this part, and we're going to leave that peripheral shadow. And my son just turned the light off on us. Turn it back on. But I'm still working on the same color, and I'm not trying to get into the child's face, but if I do, then that's okay, because there's no color to the child right now. Like I said, all we want is just the shadow, the glaze of it. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my palette down, and I'm going to mix up. I'm going to get a bigger brush, and this brush right here is used for blending. It's actually a watercolor brush, but it's so soft and versatile that I can use it as a blender for oils, and that's what I'm working with, oils. Before I blend that in though, I'm going to take my already wet brush, go back into my blue, mix it real good with that gray that I was using, and I'm going to sprawl some right in here. So that when the yellow light comes in, it's going to be it will be useful for me. And what I'm doing is just lightly Xing it. Just like this right here. And I might have to fix my canvas again. Down in here, I'm not too worried, because I can see the canvas through that. We can go back and fix that. But right now, the background is what I wanted to do. And like I said, we can go back in the background and fix it. So all I'm doing is just fading where the black and the white and the colors come together. And we can fix whatever else we need to fix. This is I just want to soften this area right here, because there's not really too much going on back there, and I don't want it to, because my focus is going to be right in here. But the main focus is the bunny. Of course the baby's going to be there too, but the bunny's going to be half shadow, half light. And I thought that was very interesting when I come up with the composition to this painting. Right here he's got a little passy and a blanket, and I might add something else just for some unity. Then again, I might not, because it seems like there's a unified nature about this experience, and that's what I'm looking for. I want, when the viewer looks at the painting, I don't want them to say, oh, it looks so realistic. I want them to say, oh, that's a beautiful painting, because that's what it is, a painting. I don't want it to look like a photograph. I want it to be an experience that can take you into itself and remind you of growing up, or remind you of that child that you love, or a particular memory of that child. Something like that. That's what I want, because those things last with us. It's not, oh, that looks so realistic. 5 minutes later, what looked realistic? But the experience is what matters, and this is what I'm after right now. So we're going to finish this a little bit better. And like I said, I might have to fix my canvas again, my easel. And when next I come back, because I'm going to have to fix some things. When next I come back, I might have a different easel, but the same painting. So until then, I hope you enjoy it, and God bless.